Hades is the ancient Greek god of the underworld, the place where human souls go after death. In time, his name became synonymous with his realm. It is said unsurprisingly, since he barely left it. Appropriately, the most significant myth related to Hades concerns one of the very few things he did, to abduct Demeter's daughter, Persephone. Hades means the unseen one, a suitable name since Hades is the ruler of the invisible world. However, the ancient Greeks rarely used this name, just like Christians rarely used the word hell in the Middle Ages. So, since materials and precious metals are found underground, they often referred to Hades euphemistically as Pluton, meaning wealth giver. Unsurprisingly, Hades' Roman equivalent is called Pluto as well. As ruler of the dead, Hades was a grim and ghastly figure, inspiring awe and terror in everyone. Consequently, he was rarely depicted in art. When he was most commonly portrayed with a beard and a solemn, mournful look. He frequently wears a helmet, named the Helm of Darkness, or the Cap of Invisibility. Cerberus, the three-headed dog which guards the entrance to the underworld, is usually beside him. Every so often he carries a scepter or holds the key to his kingdom. At a later stage, he became associated with his weapon of choice, the bident, a two-pronged fork modeled after Poseidon's trident. As Pluton, he is sometimes shown with a cornucopia, the horn of plenty. Among the ancient Greeks, Hades was known as the other Zeus. Homer even calls him the infernal Zeus. In addition to the grisly god, he is also called the host of many, or the attractor of men, since all men eventually went to serve him. Hades was the fourth child of the Titans Kronos and Rhea, after Hestia, Demeter, and Hera, both the youngest and the oldest male sibling. In other words, he was the first of his three brothers, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus, to be born and swallowed by his father, and the last one to be regurgitated. After being rescued by Zeus from the belly of Kronos, Hades joins up with him in the Titanoctomy. Eventually, the decades-long war leads to victory for the Olympians. Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus cast lots to decide who of the brothers will rule which domain. Hades gets the underworld. Since Hades was a fearsome deity who rarely left his kingdom, there are very few myths about him in ancient Greek sources. By far, the most important myth in Hades is Hades' abduction of Persephone, Demeter's daughter. That is one of the few times Hades traveled above ground. The reason, naturally, was love. He fell for Persephone. However, Persephone didn't want to give in easily, so Hades devised an ingenious ploy. As Persephone was gathering flowers with her maidens in the Nysian plain, he caused an indescribably beautiful flower to suddenly bloom before her. When Persephone reached out to pluck it, the ground under her opened, and Hades appeared before her, all dreadful and majestic in his four-horse golden chariot, and took her with him to the underworld. Demeter, the goddess of fertility, was so distressed at the absence of her daughter that she started fasting and wandering aimlessly. Finally, after 9 days, Hecate told her what happened. After the all-seeing Helios confirmed the event, Demeter left Olympus as an act of protest against the injustice done to her. With her gone, the earth was barren and infertile as a desert. 1 year passed, and the gods started to worry that the famine would wipe out humanity. So Zeus sent all the gods, one by one, to beg Demeter to come back, promising her all kinds of gifts and functions. She wanted none. The only thing that she wanted was her daughter once again. So Zeus had no choice but to send Hermes to Hades with the request that he return Persephone to Demeter. He complied, but only after making Persephone eat 1 pomegranate seed before leaving. This ensured that she would remain bound to his kingdom for eternity. Now both sides had no choice but to accept Zeus's compromise. Persephone would spend 2/3 of the year with her mother, and 1/3 of it with Hades. In this part of the year, which corresponds with the winter months, they say that Demeter retreats from Olympus to her temple in Eleusis to grieve the absence of Persephone. Every spring, Persephone would reunite with her mother, Demeter, marking the season of rebirth. It's possible that Hades and Persephone didn't have any children. However, some say that Zagreus may have been their son. Macaria is also claimed to be Hades' daughter, but no mother is ever mentioned. As the realm of the dead, Hades is mentioned 10 times in the New Testament in its original Greek text. Older translations, such as King James Bible, invariably translate it as hell. While Hades is often depicted as a ruthless, cold-hearted ruler, his character is more complex and often misunderstood. Contrary to popular belief, Hades was not the embodiment of evil or the judge of the dead. Rather, he was a strict but fair ruler, ensuring that the souls who entered his domain were treated according to their deeds in life. Hades is sometimes confused with the Greek god of death, Thanatos. Their roles and responsibilities were distinct. Hades was overseer of the Underworld, while Thanatos was responsible for the act of dying and guiding the souls to the afterlife. In essence, Hades was a vital part of the natural cycle of life and death, maintaining order and balance. As we delve deeper into the realm of Hades, some lesser-known aspects of his life and mythology come to light. For example, it is worth noting that Hades was not always associated with the underworld. In early Greek mythology, Hades was considered a god of wealth and abundance, reflecting the riches found within the earth's depths. This connection can still be seen in his epithet, Pluton, or wealth giver. Unlike other Greek gods in the Greek pantheon, Hades had very few dedicated temples and was not commonly worshipped by the general public. This was because the ancient Greeks were cautious about invoking his name, fearing that it would draw his attention and bring misfortune. However, there are some mystery cults, such as the Eleusinian mysteries, that include rituals associated with Hades and the Underworld.